When the frost moves in and the ground locks tight, most gardeners assume composting season is over. The bins stop steaming, microbes slow down, and what's left behind hardens into half-finished waste. But generations before store-bought activators and heated tumblers, Amish farmers had already solved this. They didn't rely on fancy piles or turning schedules. They used what they simply called the rot method, a slow, buried fermentation system that kept soil biologically active through even the coldest months. This approach didn't just survive the winter, it worked with it. Instead of freezing, the material inside these rot beds continued breaking down thanks to trapped microbial warmth and insulation from natural materials. It was a method born from necessity, perfected by patience, and still unmatched by most modern composting systems. The method worked because it never exposed compost to open air. Most compost piles lose their power when winter hits because they're built above ground, where wind and cold air strip away heat. The Amish avoided this problem entirely. They dug into the soil and created what were essentially compost trenches. Each trench was about 12 to 18 inches deep, enough to protect the core from freezing but shallow enough for oxygen to still diffuse slowly from the top layer. Into these trenches went a layered mix that followed a simple but precise balance: 2 parts carbon-rich browns to 1 part nitrogen-rich greens. For example, you'd use 2 wheelbarrows of dry leaves, shredded corn stalks, or straw for every 1 wheelbarrow of kitchen scraps manure or grass clippings. What made their method unique was how they sealed it. Instead of leaving it open, they covered the final layer with a mix of coarse soil, unfinished compost, and wood ash. This acted like a blanket, locking in heat, moisture, and scent. As the organic matter below began to decay, it generated mild heat that stayed trapped under the cover. Worms and microbes migrated toward the warmth, feeding throughout winter while the soil above appeared dormant. By early spring, those trenches had transformed into dark, spongy humus, ready to plant directly into. The rot bed principle relied on controlled decay instead of speed. Modern composting, however, obsesses over aeration and heat. Turning piles daily, adding accelerators, and maintaining high temperatures can produce finished compost fast. But that speed comes at a cost. It burns off much of the carbon and beneficial fungal life that supports long-term soil health. The Amish rot method, on the other hand, slowed everything down. It encouraged fungal dominance over bacterial speed, resulting in richer, more stable humus. The cool anaerobic edges of the trench allowed actinomycetes and cold-tolerant decomposers to thrive, microbes that don't die off in freezing conditions. Instead of trying to outpace nature, they mimicked forest floor decomposition, where leaves rot slowly under protective mulch all winter long. This slower process also meant fewer nutrient losses. Nitrogen wasn't volatilized into the air like it is in hot compost. Instead, it bound into stable compounds that plants could access months later. That's why crops grown in old rot beds often showed stronger root development and better water retention compared to those fed with hot compost. How to recreate the Amish rot method in your own garden. To adapt this for modern gardens, the process remains simple but must be followed carefully. Start by selecting a section of bed or trench where you won't need to dig again until spring. Alright, so you'll want to dig down about 12 to 18 inches, and keep that excavated soil close by. Into this pit, start by layering your organic materials. Begin with rough, dry stuff like stalks or small sticks, which really helps with drainage. Then, add alternating layers of browns and greens, like straw, shredded leaves, and cardboard, mixed together with kitchen scraps, manure, or even some fresh weeds. Once your trench is almost full, just stop short by about 4 inches. Now sprinkle a thin layer of wood ash or even some crushed charcoal on top. This not only adds potassium, but also helps control odor and acidity. After that, go ahead and backfill with the soil you set aside earlier, covering the top by a few inches. Finally, lightly press down to seal it all in. For example, if you have 30 gallons of leaf litter, mix it with 15 gallons of food scraps and manure, and then top it off with about 5 gallons of soil mixed with ash. That's roughly a 2-to-1 to 1/3 ratio of carbon, nitrogen, and your cover layer. Within just a few weeks, the lower layers will start fermenting gently. Even in sub-zero weather, microbial activity continues below the frost line, producing enough heat to sustain decomposition through winter. Come early spring, you can rake off the soil cap and find dark, crumbly humus ready for planting, or simply use the trench as is by sowing directly above it. The remaining compost will continue to feed plants from below as roots grow down into it. The reason it still beats modern composting today, what makes this method timeless isn't nostalgia, it's efficiency. Traditional compost piles demand turning, moisture control, and frequent monitoring. The rot bed requires almost none of that. It's self-regulating, protected from wind and rain, and directly improves the soil where it's built. There's no hauling, no waiting to spread finished compost, and honestly, no nutrient loss to leaching. It also builds soil structure in ways mechanical composting never can. The fungal threads and microbial films formed during slow winter decomposition stay intact, creating a living network that stabilizes soil aggregates. By spring, the earth is not just richer, it's alive. It holds moisture like a sponge and resists compaction, which explains why the Amish rarely needed synthetic amendments. Even today, regenerative farmers who experiment with in situ composting or trench humus are rediscovering these same principles. Nature never needed a tumbler or thermometer, just time, balance, and the right insulation. The legacy of the Amish rot method lives on in soil that never sleeps. This old method teaches a vital lesson modern gardeners often overlook. Healthy soil never stops working, not even in winter. Microbes, fungi, and worms don't need constant heat, they need shelter and food. By feeding them underground through the cold months, you ensure that when spring returns, your soil wakes up already thriving. The Amish rot system wasn't complicated because it didn't need to be. It turned decay into preservation, capturing life at the very moment most gardens go dormant. For anyone looking to build long-term soil health, this slow burn method is not just history, it's a roadmap. If this deep dive helped you rethink how you care for your garden through winter, make sure to subscribe to Hydrohaven and share this guide with other growers. The wisdom that kept Amish soils fertile for generations can still transform your beds today, quietly, naturally, and powerfully beneath the frost.